Mr. Azulis, we are pleased that the presidency of the Community of Democracies attended the goals put 2 years ago. So what results do you want to see next 2 years? Thank you.
From our presidency. Yeah.
You know, first of all, I would like to see the successful implementation of reforms which was approved by the convening group, and I hope will be approved by today's meeting, ministerial meeting. It's one. The second, of course, we would like that what we have started, we reviewed 4 working groups, if I may say so, and established 3 additional, like Women in Democracy. And I would like that Mongolia, and I'm asking sincerely His Excellency, to continue working actively in these groups and supporting activity of these groups, chaired by different countries, starting from Sweden, United States, Lithuania, Canada, and other countries. I think this is our main task. And of course, the new challenges which were now framed by His Excellency is also, I think, desire full of our support.
One thing I would like to add, you know, we will continue those wonderful works and initiatives with the Governing Council and executive committees and working groups and also convening group. And today from the ministerial meeting, they're going to have also some decisions, and we will continue all those. And we will make all those people who worked prior us here in these organizations, in these initiatives, we will encourage them to continue to work. There is no fighting. There will be only extension. We will aid our people and our support to them and work together.
And I just want to wish to Mongolia to become a real engine of democracy in this not an easy region. I think you will meet a lot of challenges. You're meeting already. But I wish to you successfully overcome those challenges.
We're never afraid of challenges. We usually face the challenges and we overcome that. Yeah, thank you. I think there is one.
Thank you. Yeah. Please identify yourself, dear colleagues.
Tatiana Poklad, Television Belsat, Independent Belarusian Television. While here these days the talks about democracy are going on very close to Lithuanian neighboring country, Belarus. Violence is continuous, violent human rights violation is continuous, and the peaceful demonstrations were beaten up and journalists arrested, and very sad things happened. So could you say your message? I'm asking Mr. Audronius Ažubalis and Mr. President also. Could you say your message to Belarusian people from these communities of democracies meetings in this day, just to say your message to Belarusian people? Thank you.
Stay united and use all opportunities to enlighten the rest of the nation. And also, don't afraid. You are not afraid, you are brave people. But I just remember what I've said this morning during the opening ceremony, that we are free today because we had some brave people who didn't afraid and went to the streets. And we won. That's what my message. Thank you.
You know, fighting for democracy, for freedom is always difficult, always challenging. Imagine that Mongolia is making that transition in late of 1980s. During that time, Soviet Union was red, and our 2 neighbors, you know, had with those agendas. All the world knows that between them, brave Mongolians taking the flag of freedom and getting in a very cold December and January, you know, minus 40, minus 30, and taking those actions in our streets. That was quite challenging. After that, we actually asked them, our rulers, to sit together on the table and have that negotiation. As a result of that, in Mongolia, there was no single window shattered, No single bloodshed there was, no. And that was peaceful transition from the Stalinist type of the regime today to this level. I think it takes courage. For the Belarusian people, I say that, you know, it's not just, you know, competing to the seat of president, and one guy is president, others in prison. That's unjust. I don't understand that. I think why they afraid of those people. I'm the president of my country. I have a real joy to serve my country by the free choice of our people. You know, my opponents are working, my opponents are, those are living, those are free, those are expressing their views. It's okay. It's really giving me more impetus, more energy to work better. That actually gives me that. I think government should serve for their people, not their people should serve for their autocratic regimes. And I wish to go to Belarus, I wish to meet with those people, but I really don't know, get the visa or not. But you know, Mongolia will support them. If there is media want to come to Mongolia, if there is media want to see real changes, real challenges, welcome to Mongolia. Recently we received a delegation and media from Kyrgyzstan, for example. They were very interested in our transition, in our parliamentary way of democracy, parliamentary type of democracy. And they learned a lot, and we will continue that type of things. And of course, we will invite those new democrats from Middle East, North Africa, and from others, and work them, encourage them. I think even though they're a small country, but the example is not small. Even every light can shed very, very big light in the darkness. Because of that, I think we shown that to the rest of the world. And also in September in New York, we will have the next meeting for the Community of Democracies. And we invite those member countries, those interested peoples to New York, together also to celebrate, you know, this march of democracy, march of freedom, yeah.
Thank you. The next question, please. Yeah.
If there is more question, I'll be very happy.
There will be, I'm sure.
Hi, Matt Garrick here from the Baltic Times. My question is mainly directed to the Foreign Minister, but please both welcome to answer. It's to do with, do you find any of the political alliances at, excuse me, during this community of democracy as reassurances to maintain and retain democracy in the independent countries for decades to come?
Thank you. If I understood you correctly, your question is about should we find new alliances inside, within the community of democracies to keep this organization? No.
It's more to do with keeping democracy in the country.
In which country?
In Lithuania.
You know, I think the answer is very simple. Democracy is not something, you know, not changeable, not irreversible. You know, we are fighting for democracy each day. We are building democracy each day. Sometimes we have huge victories, sometimes we have failure, but once country and people choose the path of democracy, we are going. You know, I do not want to say that we are perfect, but we in the process. And I'm very proud, for example, when I read the last evaluation on 2010 from European Union Human Rights Agency, which ranked Lithuania among the most democratic countries. This is a real award for me, personally, because I'm in this government. The same I'm happy when I read also the rating which we given by Freedom House. Lithuania among those countries which press evaluated as a free. This gives me, I would say, a strong moral support to continue this path?
Of course, you know, freedom is never-ending process. You have to change those diapers every morning. You know, take care every day. That's the never-ending process. Because of that, you know, there is no perfect freedom, no perfect democracy, no perfect society in every country. Because of that, I think every day, every year, advancing. But people should have that opportunity, and the government should give that opportunity more and more to the people. Yeah. Also one thing, Mongolia has two big neighbors, and because of that we have a policy, third neighbor policy. We regard European Union as our third neighbor. We regard North America as our third neighbor. We regard Lithuania our third neighbor. You know, this year our two countries are actually celebrating 20 years of the establishment of the diplomatic relations. And today I was in a Lithuania university. You imagine that in 1980s there were the very famous scholars studying the Mongolia. Mongolia is one of the countries in the world that they're exporting the big history. You know, Mongolia once was the biggest land empire ever existed. Because of that, many historians interested to study, and I think in Lithuania University we will have some Mongolian scholars, and to make those studies to Orientalistic Center, yeah. 400 years old on university. That was great, you know. There are not many universities has that kind of such a long history.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Okay.